What is going on, everybody? Back at it again with another YouTube video. And today, as you can see by my shirt and my hat, I'm going to be talking about some Eagles football. Now, we all know since quarantine has started that the Eagles and the NFL have been the majority and the main topic of my channel. And, I really can't be upset about it. I've gained a lot of Eagles subscribers, and I've gained a lot of people that like coming onto my page and talk Eagles football. And I have no problem with that. I love the Eagles. But once this pandemic ends and once we got some sports back in our lives that's actually happening, expect a lot of other things. Especially with if there's baseball, expect a lot of baseball topics. Expect a lot of hockey and basketball, because that was the main thing for my channel, because that's where I kind of started. I started in the beginning of the NHL season and the NBA season, and I was kind of midway through the NFL season. I never got the baseball. But just know, when we do get those sports back, that this page will take off with all that kind of news and content, because I love talking about all four Philly sports, and I don't really have a favorite to talk about because I could talk about them all day long. Now, to get into some Eagles talk, there's 3 points, maybe 2. There's 2 or 3 points that I really wanted to discuss. One of them being Jadeveon Clowney. Now, we all know, and I did make a video on this, and the link, or not the link, I could put the link in the description, but this video will also be at the very end of this one, so if you watch this, you can click on that one, and you can just watch it right after this one. But basically, I said in my other video that the Eagles were interested, and they were a part of 5 teams that wanted to bid for Jadeveon Clowney. Those 5 teams were us, the Seahawks, the Titans, the Ravens, and the Browns. We play 3 of those 5 teams, and we're obviously one of them. Clowney, he's a little bit of a dirty player, and we know that. With the hit on Foles that he had 2 years ago, when he was on the Texans, and then obviously we all know what happened last year in the playoffs when he dove for Carson's head and connected and knocked him out of the playoff game. But he's still Jadeveon Clowney. He was still drafted number 1 overall. He's still a top 10 player at his position. He's a good player. I'm not knocking him for that. But he does want a lot of money, and as you guys know, our cap space right now is not that great. It's not that great. We're going to be in some trouble next season. Starting next offseason, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So my thing is, do you really go out and do you sign a guy like Jadeveon Clowney, or do you try and trade a guy for a guy like Yannick Ngakoue? Because if you think about it, we're in debt. We're in a lot of, we don't have a lot of money to spend on these top tier players. And it'll eventually come back and bite you. But the team is good enough, and you have enough players locked up that it's going to eventually come full circle, and you're eventually going to have players that you can sign, like a Clowney, like a Ngakoue, when their contracts are up. But, that's down the line. I'm talking about right now. Do you go out and sign a guy like Jadeveon Clowney to be a part of this team? My answer to that, I don't know. Would I do it personally? If I'm Howie Roseman, do I personally go out there and say, we want you, we trust in you, and we need you? I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the no than the yes, because there's a lot of things that could go wrong in signing them. Money is the biggest issue. Money is a huge issue with the Eagles. Cap space, huge issue. And you're going to not be able to pay some of your younger guys if you sign Clowney for a 4-year deal, a 3-year deal. If you're signing Clowney, I say you only sign him for 1 or 2 years. And you give him $20 million for 2 years, or $30 million for 2 years, or something like that. But I know he wants a longer contract. I know he wants a lot of money. And the Eagles cannot afford to be signing a 31-year-old Jadeveon Clowney because of their cap space. So I don't know. I honestly just don't know. There's pros and cons about getting Clowney. The cons is like I've been saying, is money. You're gonna run out, and then you're screwed. The pros, it's Jadeveon Clowney. He makes you a top tier defense. He does, and our defense is already good, like really good. You put Clowney on this defense, that's like a top 3, top 5 defense. It's like a top 5, top 3 defense in the league. But my thing is, I would, if I had to choose between Clowney and Ngakoue, I'm going Yannick all day. He's younger. I think he's better. I think he would fit in the system better. I just think that Yannick Ngakoue would be the better fit here. But again, money, and now you have to trade away players for Yannick Ngakoue. That's where it's all going to come down to. You're going to have to trade players and pieces and picks for a guy like Ngakoue. Now, the other topic I wanted to talk about, and I made a couple videos on this too, was the running backs. Carlos Hyde is now, getting some interest from the Eagles. Carlos Hyde is a little bit older. Where was he at last year? Like the Jets or something like that? The Jets. I know he was with the Niners. He's bounced around the league, but he's always been a solid running back. I say if you sign Carlos Hyde, then you have your second guy. You have your second back. You have your third down back. And now it's between Killins, Clement, and Scott for that last spot in your, running back depth. I wouldn't be opposed to signing Carlos Hyde. I think he is a good football player. And, it brings veteran presence. And I know a lot of Eagles fans wanted Shady McCoy back. But I would rather have Carlos Hyde. I'm pretty sure he's younger. He's just had a better last couple of years. He's actually played. Like last year, Shady was benched in the Super Bowl. Shady would be a guy that you bring in to teach the young guys, but not really play. Like he would be more of a coach than a player. Carlos Hyde could be both. He could be a player and a coach at the same time. There's no doubt in my mind that Miles Sanders is not going to be the number one back next season. He's the franchise running back. We drafted him in the second round 2 years ago, or last year, to be that guy. And he was a lot better than I thought he was going to be in his rookie year. There was a lot of talk about, he was Saquon's backup. He has his issues here, he has his issues there. Well, he did really well. He was, I personally think he was robbed of Offensive Player of the Year. Or Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know how Kyler Murray won that. I really just don't understand. And that, they got a lot of stuff right. Obviously Nick Bosa was going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And, there's a couple other guys. But, I just don't understand, why Miles Sanders wasn't even, in the race. It was, Murray, KJ Brown, and there was another guy that I'm missing. But Miles Sanders he was underrated last year. It took him a couple weeks to score, but once he did, he was just another beast. He was an animal out there. His best game was probably against the Cowboys week 15, week 16, and he was just a dog. He was running all over that Cowboys defense, and it was great. And at that moment, I really think he just found himself, and he was a rookie, so he didn't, he wasn't 100%. He wasn't, amazing every game, but he had his problems in the beginning. He had fumbling issues, but he turned that around, and now he is the franchise running back. Miles Sanders is that guy, and I love Miles Sanders. I think we found a very good player in him, and I really do believe that he's our guy. So with that being said, just wanted to hop on here, talk some Eagles football. What do you guys think about Jadeveon Clowney and Carlos Hyde? Let me know in the comments section below if you would sign Clowney and if you think Carlos Hyde is a good, option for an Eagles running back. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Where you're at 409 subscribers. The road to 500 is now. I am doing a ticket giveaway under my Twitter and my Instagram. My Twitter is 444fan, the 3 number 4s, and PHAN fan. And it's the same thing for my Instagram. You just add an underscore in between the 444 and then underscore fan. And I'll put that in the beginning of this video. So if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below if you think Carlos Hyde and Jadeveon Clowney would be good pieces for this Eagles team. With that being said, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.